Hi, it's Miss Robinson, and today we're going to be talking about the properties of water. The essential questions that you should be able to answer afterwards are what are the properties of water and what are some water's unique characteristics? The first property of water is adhesion. It's water's tendency to be attracted to other things. So it's like the word adhesive. It means that it's able to stick to other things like spider webs and like blades of grass. The next property is cohesion, and cohesion and adhesion go quite well together. It is when water is able to be attracted to itself. So when it's attracted to itself, it forms a sphere shape as it's sticking to the spider web, as you can see right here. So the fact that it's a sphere shape means it's cohesion. These droplets are stuck on the web are adhesion. Okay. Next, we have buoyancy. It's the force that pushes up on an object when in water, and buoyancy will change depending on salt water or fresh water. Okay, so we know that gravity is pushing downward, so buoyancy is pushing things upward. So it's allowing you to float, and it also allows a ship to sit above the water while being pushed up in the water, not sinking. Think about an iceberg floating in Antarctica too. All right, the next property is capillary action. It's the ability of liquid to rise against gravity in small tubes. So when it says small tubes, I want you to envision a small plant. So the ability for a plant to go from its roots and pull water upward. And in this example, you can see the color rising from the root all the way to the top. Okay, just like trees and plants, how they get their water to grow. Next, we have density. It is the amount of mass in a given volume. When it says, we will get back to the calculating density with this equation as density equals mass divided by volume. Also, think about a rock as it sinks in the water. It is because it's denser than the water. But an ice cube will float because it is less dense than the water. So if we look at this cup over here, we have all these different liquids that have been put into this cup, and they have divided themselves basically on their density. So honey is the most dense, and it sunk to the bottom, and then we added corn syrup, the dish liquid, water with the food coloring in it, and then vegetable oil on top. Polarity is simply water's ability to be attracted to other things. It's because water is a molecule that has these positive and negative ends, like a magnet, which makes it able to get along with a lot of other things. So it's water's attraction to a lot of things. For example, we have water being dissolved in the Kool-Aid mix to make a refreshing beverage. It's all the way around. It looks just like Kool-Aid. It has the color. It's dissolved the sugar. It's taken in the Kool-Aid packet, the powder itself as well. Surface tension. It measures the strength of the surface layer of the water. So if you look at this cup and it's pulled very tight like you're pulling a blanket, it's holding a paper clip, which is made of aluminum. In any other circumstance, this paper clip would sink because it's more dense in the water. But if we keep the cup very still, we can lay the paper clip on top. For example, another example would be bugs' ability to walk on water. If you've seen a leaf sitting on top of a pond or a lake. So the universal solvent, water is obviously the universal solvent. Water is considered the universal solvent because of its polarity, which means that it's able to dissolve most substances on the planet. That's the reason why it is a universal solvent. Okay, so you see this picture, and we have coffee, which is made of majority of water. You add the sugar. It soaks up that sugar. When you make the sweet tea, it soaks up the sweet tea as well. All right, so recapping the essential questions, you should be able to know all all the properties of water, and be able to know all the 8 different characteristics that we discussed. If you need to rewind and review, you need to. If you cannot answer the following 2 questions, also if you have any more questions, you can ask me in class. Thanks.